Diego, lovely to see you once again. First of all, just how are you? And tell me what the vibe is like in the changing room. 10 games unbeaten now in the league.
Yeah, I mean, as you can imagine, it's always easier and better to work through wins, and a club like this should be in that position a lot of times. So we're happy to be to be here, to be in this moment. I think it's something that we also have to enjoy, and get used to that feeling. I think it's the most important. Don't take it for granted, but always trying to put ourselves into this position. I think that's where we want to go. And focusing on the next goals, I think is going game by game, but at the same time enjoying this moment.
And I know you're very aware of this, second longest tenured player in the squad. Yeah. You've seen a lot over the years at this club. Just talk to me about this season, though, on a personal, on a collective level. What's it been like? Because it feels like it has been a bit of a roller coaster.
I think every season since I came here, had his own history and his own page on my career. I always try to get the most out of every season, and it's been like that since I arrived, on a very progressive way, I would say. This season is exactly the same. Obviously, a lot of turning points, a lot of moments where we should have got the rewards that we probably deserve, and sometimes we didn't. Sometimes the opposite. But I think I always believe that if you keep working, if you're persistent, if you're consistent on the work that you do daily, the rewards will come sooner or later. And I think we have been getting the rewards now of all the hard work that we've been through, all the difficulties that we had since the beginning of the season. So I'm really happy that we are in this position right now, where we can fight for our main goal is to put the club back on Champions League.
And talk about this 10 league unbeaten game run, which has been so impressive, some huge wins there as well. Obviously, though, if we rewind a little bit, actually started under the previous boss in terms of Ruben Amorim. And I saw you say to Rio Ferdinand recently that he was very important in raising the standards of the group and kind of where this group is at. And you're really still applying those now. What does that kind of mean practically, maybe on a day-to-day level? Like, can you expand on maybe what that means? Because obviously, like you said, if you're still benefiting from what Ruben was able to bring, that's a real positive.
It might sound very basic, but it's the reality. It doesn't matter what you do on a match day if you don't come the next day or the next few days. And this season is a little bit different because we have so many days to train. Whether it's in previous seasons, we didn't have that opportunity because we're always constantly playing every 3 days. So even this season is strange and different because of that, because we have so many training sessions that we were not used to it. Players and staff and all the club, we should get used to the feeling of training well and prepare a long week for games and I think that's building a base. It doesn't change much what is going to happen on the weekend if you don't do it every single day, if you're not there every day. And that standard of coming in, and you hear a lot of people saying you have to come to work and get energized and try to do it every single day. But it's really hard to do it constantly. So that's the challenge. And I think this season it's been a learning point also for everyone. Obviously, we don't want it to happen again because we want to play Europe and we want to be in the cups as far as we can. So this season it's for us also to appreciate when we are in Europe, when we are
playing every few days.
Playing every 3 days, because ultimately that's what we want. I think if you ask any football player if he likes to play once a week or every 3 days, everyone will say that they like to play every 3 days. It's our life. It's what we want. Is to play games. Is to be in that kind of atmosphere, and especially in a club like this, it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen. So we, in a sense, we are very desperate to get back to that position. But in a certain way, we are calm because you can see that We have a lot of days to prepare games, so we have a lot of time to prepare, and I think that helps also for us to arrive in games a little bit more clear of what we need to do.
I mean, on that point now, since Michael Carrick's come in with his backroom staff as well, what kind of impact have they made on this group? Because as you mentioned, you know, real good habits were forming anyway, but what have they then added in this run? You know, it couldn't have started more difficult with the Manchester City, Arsenal games, but how the team played and the performances you all showed was so impressive, especially.
I think it was straight away the biggest advantage that we had with Carrick is that he really knows the club, he really knows what to say, he really knows what type of games we're going to play. And I mean, before even if he was here even as a manager, so he has both experience of being a player and being a manager at this level, at this club. So that is big advantage. And during the week, I think he's very calm, he's very balanced, which helps for us to not get carried away when we win. And even if things are not going so well, he always keeps us a little bit more balanced. And I think that helps, and that energy passes to the players. And you can see on the pitch that we look a much balanced team. We are very balanced during the 90 minutes, and I think that helps for us to get every challenge in different games.
You've seen over your time different head coaches, different managers, and even with Michael Carrick in a different role previously under Ollie, of course. But has he surprised you at all as a head coach, being in a slightly different role at the club? You know, what's that been like, I suppose, seeing him in a
I think it was, to be completely honest, it was exactly what I was expecting, because obviously I've seen him as an assistant coach, but he had a very important role as an assistant coach. So he was already very vocal. He could have a really good impact on the team, especially when he was more towards when we had the ball. So you could see already he was becoming a head coach sometime in his career. So it was not a surprise. And obviously what he did after Middlesbrough, he did a fantastic job in my opinion. So honestly, I was not surprised, but at the same time, it's different when you just have to manage 1 or 2 games, or you have to do it for a longer period. And you can see the results are there, so we are really happy with him.
I want to ask you about one player in particular, in Senne Lammens. Now, I remember deadline day last summer reporting here at Carrington about this goalkeeper coming from Royal Antwerp. I just wonder, from your point of view, what were your first impressions of Senne Lammens when he arrived? You know, what did you know about him? What was your first interactions like with him?
I mean, straight away we could see the type of profile that he is as a person, which helps, I think, in the position that he's playing. For you to be a Man United goalkeeper, you need to be really, really balanced, because you can go high really quick and you can get low really quicker as well. But you could see he's a really chilled person. He doesn't get carried away too often. So we're really happy with the performance that he's having. But like, for us, it's not so surprising, because we've seen him every day. So I'm happy that people are getting to see that we already saw it as soon as he came. So I think that it's bringing us also to another good level, because we need people like this. We need people that, although they are in a very high level, they understand that this is a daily work. This is something that you need to do every single day and every single game. And he knows that he is in one of the hardest positions in football. Being a Man United goalkeeper is not easy. So he needs all the help that we can give him, and we do. But it needs to come from him, and I think that he has it.
Absolutely, his performance against Everton was mightily impressive. Just about finally the 3 other signings from last summer, as you looked for this Champions League place before the end of the season. Your time at the club, you've seen players come leave. Obviously, that red shirt can weigh quite heavily, but with the likes of Brian Mbeumo, Benjamin Sesko, Mateus Cunha, feels like they're all thriving, wearing that red shirt. What do you think has set them apart, maybe from other players you've seen at your time at the club?
Obviously, the first thing is always the quality. If they weren't quality players, they wouldn't sign for the club. But then, for you to be at Man United, for you to stay here for a long time, you something else. And the biggest advantage, obviously, for Brian and Cunha was they already knew the league. They already been playing England for a long time, so you could see straight away playing the game was a little bit easier for them. And then you can see now Ben is a really good mentality person, so he already knows that he needs to work really hard to be at this level. And you can see the differences, and you can feel when a player goes to the bench what type of profile he is. If he comes on 5 minutes, if he comes on 2 minutes, if he comes on 15, how does he react? Even if scoring goals the next game he goes to the bench again, how do you react? And this is insights of big players, in my opinion. And he's still a young player, so he knows that he needs to work hard. He needs to work really hard, and I'm very happy that it's being like this, because we also need players that have that type of mentality, not just starting games. But I'm pretty sure that he will play plenty of games.
Diogo, really appreciate your time as always.
Thank
Pleasure
you.
chatting with you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.